Hi lads and lasses, welcome to Darts Tips and Advice with Dynamite Dave. What we're going to address today is foot position. It's something that's been requested by 2 or 3 of the different subscribers. Had a few contacts on Facebook and what have you. People are saying about the way that you stand. How should you stand? How shouldn't you stand? My philosophy on it, as I'm sure you'll know from the other videos that you've watched, is I believe the more mechanical it is, the better and more accurate it's going to be. The less differences you've got in it, the more you put into that split second as you address the hockey, as you come up to the hockey and address the hockey, getting yourself into the right position every time that you step up to it is going to make it so as your darts are going to fly more accurately. Everything about darts, right from your grouping to doing your doubles and everything, it's all about consistency. It's got to be consistency. To consistently hit the treble 20, you've got to be able to get all those elements correct every time. The least differences you have in those elements, the more often you're going to get them exactly the same. The more 60s you're going to hit, the more doubles you're going to hit, the more bullseyes you're going to hit. Right, so like I say, today's video is going to be about foot position, how you stand and address the board. I'll show you how I do it, and I'll show you a few different types of stance that I've seen other dart players use, some of the professionals use, and some of them are more steady and more mechanical than others. Obviously it depends on who it works for and how it works for you. Very individual, but these are just my thoughts on it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to transfer you down so you can see my feet and the way that I address the board. Right, now lads and lasses, you've got a good view there of the hockey and the way that you'll stand and address the board. The hockey line's on the floor here. I've not got the drop-in hockey in, I've just got the one that's on the floor. One of the reasons why I've done it so I'm just throwing from a line is so you can actually see the foot position, and the foot position is not going to be hidden by the hockey. So if we had the hockey down, like so, you see half of my foot has now disappeared behind the hockey. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the hockey up and away, out of the way, so you can see exactly what I do with my feet. Now, if regardless of whether I'm using the drop-in hockey or whether I'm using the line on the floor, the drop-in hockey, what I'll do is I'll go up and I'll put my foot on it, like so. You'll have seen a lot of the dart players do this. I'll drop this back in again for a second just to show you. Right, you'll see a lot of them, like, well, 99.9% of the dart players you'll see, they'll come up, they'll put the foot on the hockey there, then they'll turn the foot into the side of it. The reason they do that is the centering. They're getting themselves in the centre of the hockey before they put the foot down on it. Or, if you'll see Steve Bunting or a few of the others that stand right on the edge of it, they still do the same thing. They walk up or they slide the foot up to it while they're looking at the board. Disadvantage with not using the drop-in hockey is you have got to get your foot in the same place every time. So what I do when I come up to the hockey, when I'm doing visits to the board, you'll see this if you've watched me play, I put my toe where I want it in the centre line, and then I turn my foot in. Toe in, turn my foot in, so it's locked in the same spot every time. And as you'll see as I come in, this front hip here locks out for where I throw. You've got other types. A lot of people like the Gary Anderson. He stands with his toe to the hockey and his foot back like this. The only problem that I find with standing in this position is I feel it's a bit unstable, if you know what I mean. You'll see if you try and do it, because you've got this foot out to one side and you're literally balancing and wobbling on this leg. Whereas the way that I do it, if you've got your leg turned out that way and your hip locked in, ready to throw, it's solid, you're not moving anywhere, you're not being pushed backwards or forwards, you're not twisting. Whereas I think some of the other ways are not quite as steady. This sort of stance, which is another stance that I've seen people use, the problem that you have with this one is you've got to fetch your hand to the centre of your body to throw straight, or you've got to stand off to one side. personally, I just don't feel that that's a very accurate way of doing it. Some people have to do that because of medical conditions, and that's perfectly acceptable. That's just the way it is. But I'd rather see people stood incorrectly and playing the game and enjoying it, and enjoying playing to the levels that they're at, if they're happy doing that, than not playing at all. Because don't forget, this game is our passion. So again, just to conclude, walk up to the hockey, put your toe in the centre, yeah, and turn your foot. So this replaces your toe, because that is the centre line through your body. And I actually did these videos about a year, a video similar to this about a year before Phil Taylor fetched his video out. And if you see and go and watch the Phil Taylor video, you'll find a lot of his theories are very, very similar to mine. And he's done exactly the same thing. He's developed himself when he played with Eric Bristow to become a mechanical player, and that's why he was so good for so long. Right, so again, toe into the centre, twist your toe side on, so then this part of your foot here, this part here, and that's why I've worn these trainers, because they've got different marks on them, so you can see where I've put my foot right in the centre of the hockey, right in the centre of the board, and throw. Right, I'll do a couple of visits for you and show you exactly how I do it. So we try and train ourselves always walking from the right. I can't do it at the moment because, as we know, all the work that's going on in the house, I haven't got the space over here. It's been filled with well, let's say detritus. $125. One more. $140. Right, lads and lasses, let's fetch you back up here. Right, lads and lasses, hopefully that's helps one or two of you. That's all I'm here for, is to try and help. As I've always said, and as I always will say, like, comment, thumbs up, all that sort of stuff. But if you need any advice, all you've got to do is leave me a message. You'll see throughout all my videos, whoever messages me, I get back to them as quick as I can. So if you need any advice, if you need any help, all you've got to do is leave me a message. If there's a certain video you want me to make, providing that it's along the lines of what I believe that people need to know about, I'll do it, right? So that's not a problem. So any requests, get firing them in. The more requests you make, the more videos I'm going to make. So thanks, lads and lasses. As I always say, you only ever get out of this game what you're prepared to put in. So toe to the hockey, and see you next time.